study today, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up and your comments. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. And here is the question of the day. Are white people for losers? Have white people so bought into the propaganda that they are superior to everybody else, that they really think that they're supposed to go into every situation, every day, every scenario, and win and be supreme, as they like to call themselves? Have they bought into that propaganda? And when they do go into a situation and they don't win, are they always able to show grace and good sportsmanship, or do they show that they are poor losers? So are white people poor losers? By now, everybody has seen the clip of American tennis player Taylor Townsend. I'm so happy to see her rising in the way that she is, winning against a Latvian. I believe this lady is from Latvia in Eastern Europe. So yes, Taylor Townsend won that match against her at the U.S. Open the other day. And you can see this woman pointing and her mouth is all gapped open. And she didn't take the loss well at all. So take a look at this.
Up until that final post from Elena Ostapenko, there was no mention of race. And there was none by Taylor Townsend either until the very last question of the press conference. And yet race hung over this whole grim episode, and that it felt really appropriate, actually. I thought the non-explicitness of it all, because that's so rarely what racism looks like, right? It's so rarely someone intending to sound overtly racist. Far more often it's insipid or unconscious or carries a good amount of plausible deniability with it. But when you're a white woman talking to or about a black woman, it's incumbent upon you to understand the dynamics at play, that casually accusing somebody of having no education, which is a pretty popular genre of racist assumption, by the way, is simply unacceptable, regardless of the context or what you intended. And her lack of acknowledgement of any of those dynamics, or even pause to consider them, regardless of her stated intentions, I'm afraid speaks volumes. The high-handedness of it all is what really bothers me, listing all the ways in which Taylor Townsend wasn't properly respecting the rules of tennis, as if she is the gatekeeper of what is and isn't tennis. Well, that carries a lot of racial undertones that she should be aware of as well, plus a shitload of irony.
So here we go. U.S. Open foes Taylor Townsend and Jelena Ostapenko get into a tense back and forth after match. U.S. Open opponents Taylor Townsend and Jelena Ostapenko got into a face-to-face argument on the court 11 sideline right after their second round match. So this altercation came about because Taylor Townsend, the black player, won the match. Jelena Ostapenko pitched the fit, accusing Taylor Townsend of not following the tennis rules. I think she made up something on the spot about she wasn't supposed to go to the net and warm up or something like that. But it was just something that she made up, because if she had done something, if she had violated the rule, they would have called it. They would have called it. There's no question in anybody's mind about that. But then Ostapenko proceeded to tell her that she had no culture, she wasn't educated. I'm surprised she didn't call her lazy. But after you get out there and win a match and beat her at that match, calling her lazy, would have just been saying something. Because you can't be lazy and get out there and play that kind of a match and win. So Ostapenko thought she was supposed to win. And even in Eastern Europe, they know the stereotypes that America has created around black Americans. As a matter of fact, that's a special little gift that America has given to the world. Even with the black people in the world, the black Brits and the Africans especially, they throw that up in our faces all the time. But it's okay, because really, when the rubber meets the road, the only thing that matters is who you are. Who won? So she won, and that's how I looked at it. You think all of this stuff is hilarious. I know a lot of people upset, oh, it's racist. Well, yeah, it's racist. But you have to transcend that racism. You have to transcend their stereotypes. You have to transcend whatever it is people are doing to bring you down and say, but guess what? I won. Townsend, an American who is ranked #1 in doubles, said Ostapenko, a Latvian who won the 2017 French Open, told her she has no class and no education. This is hilarious because the black woman won the match. She has no class and no education. Well, what we know is she has skills. She has tennis skills enough to be #1 in doubles, and she just beat her. So Taylor Townsend goes on to the next round, and Ostapenko goes home, or she can watch from the stands, and she's out. That to me is the way to look at it. We can always call somebody a racist. I believe you have to go beyond just saying she's a racist. It doesn't matter if she's a racist. What matters, what it does matter, but you can't do anything about that. But what you can do is be the best version of yourself. You can show up as the best version of yourself. And from all that's been said about the incident of people who witnessed it, Taylor Townsend handled it with class. A reporter asked Townsend whether she thought there were racial undertones to those comments. I didn't take it that way, but also, that has been a stigma in our community of being not educated and all of the things when it's the furthest thing from the truth. Townsend responded. So whether it had racial undertones or not, that's something she can speak on, Townsend said. The only thing that I'm worried about right now is continuing to move forward with this tournament. To me, that is the healthiest thing that she could have said. Because it's not even about whether a woman is a racist or whether or not the comments had racial undertones. Of course they did. But what matters is the fact that she knows that that is not something that she needs to ingest. That's something she needs to throw off. I won. I'm moving forward. That's all I care about. That is a sign of growth in a Black American woman. Ostapenko later posted on social media about how many messages I received that I am a racist. I was never racist in my life, and I respect all nations and people in the world. For me, it doesn't matter where you come from, she wrote. Well, yeah, what was she going to say? Yeah, I'm a racist, and I'm glad I said what I said. After the two players met at the match for a post-match handshake, they stayed near each other instead of going their separate ways, as usually happens. The 25th seeded Ostapenko wagged a finger at Townsend as they spoke. It's competition, Townsend said. People get upset when they lose. When they finally stopped talking, Townsend went over to the stands and egged on the partisan crowd, waving her arm overhead, and the noise from spectators only grew louder. So the crowd was with her because they realized they were looking at a sore loser. The thing that I'm the most proud of is that I let my racket talk. Because ultimately, I'm the one here, sitting in front of you guys, moving on to the next round, getting the next check, moving on, being able to still be here and speak to you guys. And that's what's the most important. Townsend said Wednesday to the press. She's packed up and she's gone, and I'm here still standing. See, I think that's the right attitude for Black Americans to take, because we are going to continue to compete on the global stage. And I don't think we go into that with, woe is me, I'm Black, and they're racist. Yes, we are Black, and they are racist. But we have to transcend that, because we don't have anybody that's going to talk us up or propel us up. We have to depend on what we've always depended on: hard work, discipline, and belief in ourselves. And I just feel like what she said is right. I'm just going to let my racket talk to me, and she can go off on all kinds of rants, and she can make herself look as silly as she wants. But I'm going to stand on business. So shout out to Taylor Townsend for being a very classy and a good representation of what a Black American woman ought to be. Let me know what you think about the video. Have a great day. Oh, and by the way, y'all, I have a new microphone. I have a new headset. So if I'm a little off, just bear with me. I'm going to try to get it right. Bye bye.